welcome back to the show, the Ruud Talk. This is the third episode. Happy to have another episode coming. Barbara and Alex, how are you guys?
Well, we are very well. Thanks for joining us. I think this is the third episode, right, Alex, with our Ruud Talk. Now we can pronounce your name properly as well, because we kept on saying Ruud, and it's Ruud, isn't it?
You have to roll, Babsi, Ruud.
You have to roll the R.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so pumped, Casper, to be with you and with Babsi, of course. And since Roland Garros, I'm like, Ruud. Even my little daughter, she's 5 years old, and I said, I have a Zoom with Casper Ruud, and she went like, Ruud. I said, yes, this one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the French Open, your unbelievable success. Before you were heading to the French Open, you've never reached the quarterfinals of a Grand Slam, and that was obviously you've done that, but better, reaching the finals. Has it sunk in yet what you've achieved, Casper?
Yes, I think it has, and it has kind of given me, of course, a lot of joy and excitement when it happened, but also motivation and kind of self-belief and confidence for the future Grand Slams. That when you do something for the first time, it feels not easier, but it feels kind of that you can do it again, that it's not too far away. So obviously, it is far away to reach another Grand Slam final, because that doesn't just happen overnight. But it will be a good boost for my career, and hopefully in a positive way, that is something that I can, do again, play a Grand Slam final. That's when I played Rafa was obviously very challenging, and probably the biggest challenge I ever had in my life. And it was kind of difficult to feel comfortable in the situation. But I think if I would ever get a chance again to play one, I think at least I know what I'm facing a little bit. And I will hope that it's not against Rafa on Chatrier,
because that's his living room,
because
isn't
the
it?
final against him on Chatrier, Philippe Chatrier court, is impossible, because no one has done it, and I don't feel too bad that I didn't that I wasn't able to win against him. So it was a very, very fun experience, and it's been some weeks now, and I think it has sunk in, and I've received a lot of positive feedback, and people are following. So it's a nice feeling, of course.
Was it really fun playing against Rafa?
It was.
You said it was fun. I don't know.
No, I mean, yes and no at the same time, because it's obviously one of the biggest challenges that we have in the sport, like I've said a couple of times now. But he's been, like some guys maybe know, he's been the idol, the one player that I look up to the most. When I grew up playing, watching on TV, and of course, all the big three have been an inspiration to me in their own way. But Rafa has been special, because it was like my childhood. One of the first childhood memories I have is watching him win his first Roland Garros on TV when he was 19 or whatever it was. So I was only, I would guess, 5 or 6 years old at the time, watching on TV. So that's kind of where, in a way, my kind of dream about becoming a professional player started, thinking that someday I want to be on TV playing as well. And I didn't know, obviously, the stage and what round it was, but just thinking that one day I want to be there myself. And I guess 16, 17 years later, I was able to do it and play there. And it was obviously fun, and I enjoyed it. And of course, I wish I could have made the match closer, but him playing with good confidence in the final in Roland Garros, we know that he's dangerous.
Alex, you've obviously watched the finals. We've all done it, and you watched it even closer because not just of Casper, because of Rafa Nadal as well. And I noticed when the two of them entered Philippe Chatrier before, Rafa is going through his routine, he's jumping and he's full of energy, and Casper felt like he was very quiet there. How did you absorb that moment?
Well, I have to say, I saw those images, and I don't know if for Casper, the fact that he was playing Rafa also, like, tactically, it's very difficult because, he can get his backhand quite easy, and that when Rafa gets you into that corner of the court, not you, everybody struggles. But definitely, I feel like going on court with Rafa, by seeing those images, Casper, I don't know if you feel already like, oh, Jesus, this is going to be like a nightmare. Because it impresses so much. I remember in my times with Thomas Muster, Babsi, that you know very well, he was doing doing medicine ball against the wall in the locker room before he has to play against you. So I was about to play him and he was like, whoa, whoa, like crazy. So I don't know if Rafa does this sort of thing and it impresses you, or you just, okay, I just go on to my own and I don't care.
Well, I mean, I know that he's doing it because I've also seen it on TV many times. But I think we all have our own routines, and I do pretty much the same things in the gym before. So that's maybe a place where the camera doesn't always film in the gym. So I had done the same stuff, you know, running back and forth, getting my legs ready, being on the treadmill, maybe not throwing medicine ball, but doing everything to be ready. So, but he just likes to do it, I guess, like right before he exits the court. And me, I'm not, I don't do it this way, but I mean, it has been going quite well for me. So I think I will stick to my routines, but obviously his routines are a bit special. It's, has a lot of things he has to do. Whether it's this or if it's, you know, between the serves or before the serves, you know, we all know that he has things that he has to do, I guess. So for him, it's working. And but I don't think that it maybe intimidates you more than what you are from before, because knowing that you're going to play Rafa best of 5 sets on clay, you know that you're probably going to have to be there for at least 3 hours if you want to beat him, and you're probably going to have to play the best match of your life or of your whole career to be able to beat him. So just knowing this before will obviously make you respect him and feel sort of intimidated. So that little detail in the end, I don't think it matters, at least not for me, because I know he was going to do it. But for him, obviously it helps him and he feels like he has to do it. So it's completely fine.
Yeah, we know all those routines from Rafa. Is there anything you have to do, you know, to know, okay, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna be on top of the game here? Do you have little, I mean, besides the warm up and all those routines, like little things on the court?
I have, obviously, like, I plan my days very strict, or to the, not to the minute, but like to the quarters or the half hours, where I know what I'm going to do for pretty much the whole day. But so I like to know, you know, certain times I would like to warm up and how much time I need between the warm up and before the match, all these things. And but there's not really too much other
in
than,
the match.
you know, when I'm playing the match, I just need to do a certain number of bounces with the ball before I serve. So that's one thing, but not too much more than this. When I'm returning, there's nothing I really need to do. I just do my split step and try to focus the way I do it. So, I mean, there are some things, obviously, that you would like to do the same over and over, because it makes you feel good in a way and that you're doing the right thing. So there are some things, but not as much as maybe other players, or and compared to other players, I maybe do more than other players. So, I mean, I think I'm quite average.
Alex, your I can't remember. Did you have a little routine, little superstition on the court when you were playing?
Yeah, a little bit. I was not stepping on the lines either. Like Rafa doesn't do it. I probably stepped in so many lines because he's probably doing a little bit better than me. But then I was also like, when a ball kid is giving you the ball and you win the point, and then I stick to that ball kid, and then when I lose the point, I change to the other side. So I make the ball kid feel bad because I went to the other side. But that was sort of my feeling when I was playing. I wanted to stick with the ones that are giving me the winning point. I think it's good to have routines, in my opinion, just to control the emotions a little bit more. It's not more like you get paranoid or something. It's more like it is the same to be 1-0 in the first set or 4-0 in the fifth, that you need to feel whatever you need to feel inside. And that's what I think the routines are good, but not get too crazy. But if you bounce 4 or 5 times each time, you cannot be match point and then bounce it 15 times, because then it's a little bit unusual and weird. So I think as long as you leave it as very natural, I think it's good to have this sort of routines where your body reacts to that. And that's what I recommend to the players, to have this a little bit of feelings before, especially the moments where they feel like the heartbeat is a little bit higher, you know, the way you breathe and the way you relax. You know, I feel like when I was very tight, I felt like I wanted to do like take 2 and then get 1. gave me a little bit of feeling, you know. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep your mind busy, and when you have those routines, it's pretty good. Casper, did you realize, or were you conscious about that when you went into the finals, and even though you lost it, that this is the next chapter in your career?
I think so. Obviously, playing a Grand Slam final is something that not too many players have done in their careers, and it's sort of an elite club. Obviously, the main goal is to win the Slam, not just to play a final. So, I mean, that's even an even more elite club. But it's funny because I played Joe Tsonga in the first round.
Oh, yes.
And I remember myself watching him make his first Grand Slam final in Australia, because I think I said it on the on-court interview after the match that as a Rafa fan, I was a bit sad that he beat Rafa. I think it was quarterfinal or whatever, on his way to the final. And sort of playing him, and then happening with me right after that I reached my first final. It was a fun kind of little thing that happened there. So it's something that I think you can be remembered for a long time, and probably for the rest of my career. But at the same time, you want to try to win one in the long run, and that's obviously the main goal. And I think having played one final, it feels like at least, you know, at the moment, that I'm closer to winning a Grand Slam than I was 2 months ago when I hadn't reached the final. So it obviously gives you motivation and self-belief, but I think at the same time you have to be humble and not think like, you know, I'm going to win the Slam now because I've reached the final. For sure it's going to happen. This is not the way it works. So I will just try to continue to work hard and you know, think that I need to take care of the chances I have, but at the same time knowing that when Rafa, Djokovic, and Federer, these guys, when they, you know, unfortunately for all tennis fans around the world, when they retire, I think tennis will be maybe a little bit more open to who can grab the big titles. And I think that there can be a group of more players that will fight for the bigger titles. And I hope that I can be one of those players. So let's see, obviously, what the future holds. But it gives me at least self-belief that I can be a part of this group.
And I think the important thing is resetting your goals as well, and do that 100% and believe in it 100%. 99% is not enough, I've heard. Let's hear what's happening in Norway. I mean, it must have been crazy when you went back there. Tell us, I mean, are you like the hero now there, or how have you changed your country?
I don't know. I mean, it's funny because we have other athletes doing really well at the same time as I'm starting to do well. You know, we have a football player, Erling Haaland, and Martin Ødegaard. Those two guys are doing really well in football or soccer. And then we have golf player who's top 10, top 5 in the world, Victor Hovland. And we have the world and Olympic champion in 400-meter hurdles, Karsten Warholm. So we have like a group of, and we just won the world championship in volleyball, sand or beach volleyball. So it's
and then there's you
for Norway, yeah. And then I guess my result comes up there as well. So it's tough to say like if I have kind of done too much, but yeah, I felt obviously good, a lot of support, and even for the previous 2-3 years, as I have kind of set my footsteps into the top 100, top 50, top 20, and, you know, reaching more and more goals, more and more people are following and giving me feedback, you know, when I go to the grocery store or whatever. In a way, it's been nice with the COVID because we've been wearing masks. So it's been like people have been kind of asking me, is it you or am I just thinking it's you when they see me in the grocery store? And I'm like, well, that depends who you think I am. It's like, yeah, do you play tennis? And then I say, yeah, I do. So then it's like, it's been like this. But now when I went home, it was a little bit, I guess, easier for people to notice me without the masks and all these things. So I had some very nice feedback, and friends, family organizing, you know, big dinners for me, wanting to celebrate and giving me a lot of attention and love. So I mean, it's obviously was very nice to be back, and I hadn't been to Norway since since I came back from before Monte Carlo. So I had been on the road for a long time, the whole clay season, and it was a very nice way to come back with the final in Roland Garros and also the trophy from Geneva. So I had 2-3 very good weeks in a row. So it was I had a lot of fun when I came back.
Let's go to the debate, guys. We have a new rule or a new trial on the ATP Tour. The off-court coaching trial was announced for the second half of the year. Casper, let's start with you. How do you like that?
I think it's I obviously have to give credit to ATPs for trying something new. I think it's we've seen it with the next gen finals that they're trying different things to bring into the game. Some things are working, sometimes some things are not. So it might not be that this will stick forever, but I think it's good with some change at least. And as we have a very big group of young players and sort of new generation on the way. I know it's been a lot of talk about this the last years, next generation. Still, obviously, Rafa and Novak being the guys who end up winning most of the big tournaments. But obviously, there is a big group of 20-25 players who are among the top 50, top 60 in the world. So, and I think we are quite open for some change and some new stuff. And I think it's a fair rule. I mean, when you're on the same side, you can communicate. Obviously, you're not going to stay there and talk with your coach for more than maybe 4 or 5 seconds because you have to get ready for the next point as well. So it's not going to be a very big dialogue back and forth where you really going to get coached like a lot. You're going to get some tips and some stuff maybe here and there and some signs. But I know that many coaches and players do this already. So obviously trying to keep it under the radar. So it's just gonna be that you maybe not need to keep it so under the radar anymore, that you can speak more freely. But like I said, we're not gonna have dialogues in 1 minute between the points because we have 25 seconds to get ready for the next point, and you at the same time you need to respect the server if you're in the returning game. So I think it's fun and interesting, and but obviously at the same time we've all looked up to tennis in a way because it's you need to handle yourself out there. So it's going to be interesting to see the reaction and how it works for certain players.
Alex, what about you? How do you like that decision?
Well, I agree with Casper in a way. Listen, we are in 2022. We need to try things. That's for sure. We know that tennis players, we need to find our solutions because I love our sport. That if I lost 7-6 in the first set, it's me who needs to find a way to get back into my mindset and try to recover the match. In another hand, I feel like I hate when the chair umpires are like a policeman. Look into your coach to feel if they do a sign like this, or if they tell you like, okay, be more aggressive, step inside the baseline. And they get nuts and they give you a warning. I think this is a little bit absurd because it gives like extra pressure to the chair umpire. The player feels like they're observing him. The coach feels like, oh, I just said like, come on, be more aggressive. So let's see how the coaches also deal with that. Because if you feel like, because if you can talk, you're going to be like shouting every point. You might disturb also the other opponent. So in a way, I think it's good to have a trial to see how it goes. I feel like the players, they should find their own solutions because that's our sport. But if they're flexible a little bit, it might be okay. Just if you are there and you are a little bit desperate to tell you like, okay, step in the second serve, return. Okay, it's helping you. Of course, it should be your decision. But as Casper and as we all know, many people has been doing that. And it's like, faking to say like, oh no, okay, many coaches didn't because they are sticking to the rules, and that's great, and I love that. But at the same time, if it's been going on, we need to try to see how it goes. I don't want the player to go next to the coach and just sit there or talking to him. That I hate that. But try it. I think it was necessary. It was necessary, even if I feel that I like the players to find solutions. So I'm a little bit like that, but this is my thing. I don't know what about you, Babsi, because you've been playing there. And I don't know if you would like the coach to tell you, because we know you don't want to be told what to do.
No, I actually I prefer to find my own solution. But that's I mean, I always thought that's the beauty about the sport of tennis, that you have to find your own way out of trouble, and you have to find solutions, kind of. But I mean, everybody sees it in different ways. And if you look at Carlos Moya or Nick Kyrgios, a lot of people, I mean, it's been the talk pretty much in the last couple of weeks. Once they announced it, they don't like it. They also think, okay, the player has to find their own solutions on the court. They've done the practice before, they've done the training before. And then you have somebody like Patrick Mouratoglou who says, well, it should be, hello, welcome to 2022. It should be allowed, and everybody's coaching anyway. So Casper, do you think, I mean, is that personally going to help you, that trial? Are you going to have a little chat with your team while
I think
playing?
that it's just going to be, like I said, easier for the coach to feel like he doesn't need to hide certain things when he's trying to talk to you, communicate. And like I said, it's not going to be like you talk to your coach and he's going to say, play 2 forehand down to his backhand and then change to his forehand, because that's not how the game goes. Every point is different. Every point kind of lives its own life. Of course, you have a strategy before you start a match to know, what are your opponent's certain weaknesses, his best shots, whatever, so that you're prepared for this. I think that's what I usually like to know, like, what's his, choice of shot when he needs to play a deadly shot, or on the defense from this side, what does he do, all these things. So I do analyze my opponents quite a lot before every match, so I know a little bit what's going to come. But it's also frustrating if you have made a game plan with your coach that it's not working. So then you're kind of like, but you told me to do these things, so what's going on, And then it's frustrating not to, be able to get like some kind of feedback that the coach can say, sorry, we made this, try to change this, So I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it's the beauty of the tennis sport that we have had to, or required to find our own way. And I think most of the times we will still do that, but it's just going to allow the coach to kind of not be so scared of getting caught, of showing certain things, or many times it's just like some clapping and getting the player to keep going. It's not too much communication. So it's
for me, you know what, it would be the only concern if you're a little bit younger and you will relay everything on your coach, like looking at like, where do I serve now? Like forehand, and it's like, okay, and you get a habit that they're taking the decisions from you because you're not capable to do it, which I think you should be the one thinking, where do I go now? I go wide, I go T, or I serve and volley. But so if they're going to be this sort of combination, and then it's like the guys or the girls growing up, they're going to depend all the time, like looking to the coach, because this happens, you Babsi and Casper, like, where do I serve now? This is very typical, like, 5-4, and you're like panicking, and where do I serve? And it's like, okay, serve whatever you feel you have to serve. So if that happens, that I don't think it will be good for the players to develop their minds and their skills. This is the only thing it concerns me a little bit.
There has actually been the trial on the WTA tour, and I've been watching it, and it's not that they are talking to their coaches all the time. It's very subtle. It's every now and then they're saying something, and it's up to the coach as well with the young player, I think, to not talk to them all the time. Otherwise they do get dependent, which maybe some of the coaches want. But Casper, what if you don't have a coach? I mean, that's really unfair then.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a good point. If you cannot, afford a coach, but on the ATP tour, most of the guys are bringing a coach, so that's more of a choice, I guess. But on the lower level, it's obvious that some players cannot afford it because they don't make enough money to pay for the coach or the expenses. So, but I think in the beginning, it's only going to be on the ATP tour, if I'm not mistaken. So on the ATP event. So let's see how it goes. But I know that 99 out of 100 players, they bring a coach. So I don't think that will be the biggest issue, at least not on the ATP tour.
Yeah, that's probably a different topic on the WTA tour. There's a few girls without coaches. There's a few girls with parents and, who haven't played like your dad before. So interesting thing to watch. All right. We have some news as well. It was big news because Serena Williams is going to play Wimbledon. Casper, she hasn't played an event since last year's Wimbledon, where she got injured. She's 40 years of age. I mean, when you saw those news, what were you thinking?
It's impressive. That's one word I can say to describe it, because she has won everything there is to win, and she still, wants to keep going. It shows that she has a true love for the sport and that she wants to compete again. That she's missing that feeling, I guess. And obviously, she's been through, I guess, many challenging moments, and especially last year having to retire. I was watching the match live here from the hotel when we were in the COVID bubble last year, and she brings a lot, obviously, to the game, and a lot of fans and players look up to her a lot, as she deserves. So it's going to be fun to see her back, and I think the center court will probably be sold out when she enters the court again.
A very good chance. Alex, what was going through your head, and can you believe that her motivation is still there at the age of 40?
I mean, I was, yes, she's back. I think it's lovely to see that Serena, she's going to have more chances to play. I mean, I would love her to win one more major. I mean, I growing up, my idols were Ivan Lendl and Stefan Edberg, but also Steffi Graf. So for me, Steffi Graf was there. But feeling like Serena was there like so many times with the majors, I mean, I do feel like it would be like unbelievable if she can just have another chance to win another major, because it's history. I think she's been working so hard. She's turning, as you said, she's 40 and she's willing to be there. She has a need to be there. It's just the passion of her sport, our sport. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful because I think it creates news, it creates, like as Casper said, sold out 100%. And I hope she does well. I'm not saying that she needs to win this one, because she needs to go with her flow and see how she feels. But I would love to see her play at least this year and probably next year, to see if she has the chance to add one more major under her belt. That, in my opinion, that would be awesome.
And she would really deserve it, I have to say. Casper, can you imagine playing Wimbledon at the age of 40 when you look ahead in time, looking into the future?
Oh, no,
Jesus.
To be honest, no, I hope, but I cannot imagine that. It means I've had a very, very long career, and a good one if I'm able to play at 40. So it's not a negative thing, but honestly, I'm not sure if my body will hold up for 17 more years. So I think I need to play a little bit less tournaments, during the year, if I have to save my body for this.
It'll be interesting.
I think you will do that as your career will grow. I think you will know when you're gonna need to be ready and when do you want to put your effort. So I think it comes a little bit with age. So don't worry, you're young.
Yeah, I still have stuff to learn. So let's see.
And you can't look ahead 17 years. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I don't even think 17 years, Alex, we're going to be really open.
Well, hopefully we can be here.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I won't
see
anyone anymore.
Maybe we will be on the Ruud Talk number 250.
Yeah, 200 million. Yes,
yeah,
million
episodes.
Yes, exactly.
And I will probably forget all the questions because I can't remember anything. All right, are you guys ready for a quiz? We love our quizzes.
Let's do it.
Okay. Now, the question is, can you name all the Wimbledon champions who have won at least 3 titles in the Open era? Ladies and gentlemen, winners. You can go together. Let's start with the women, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just go like this? We throw, or we just wait
just
for
throw.
the other?
I mean, maybe one each.
Let me start with a couple.
Casper, Casper, you start.
I'm going to say Serena, and I'm going to say 3 times, was it?
3 times, yeah.
Steffi
at
Graf.
Least 3 times.
Steffi
Yes,
Graf.
you're right.
Navratilova, she must have won 3 times, yeah?
Yeah, she has, yeah.
Chris Evert?
Yeah, Evert.
Yeah.
Venus?
Yes, Venus, and one more.
Yeah.
There's one more.
And there's only one more?
There's one more. Yeah, who did you say, Alex? Yeah, come on, you nailed this. I thought we were going to sit here for 5 minutes, but you've done it. All right, I know you're sweating
now, Casper. I'm sweating, Casper.
The men's, we should be able to do the men's. So.
Yeah, I know. Good luck with them. Let's go.
So Roger, Novak, Sampras,
Alcaraz for sure.
Yeah.
Becker.
Yes,
Becker.
correct.
Jesus Christ, no.
Borg?
Laver, do we count? Borg, of course. Bjorn Borg, McEnroe.
Yeah.
Yes,
McEnroe.
you got them all in the open era. And before it was Laver, and you mentioned him, and then another guy. Probably it's going to be tough. He had a mustache when he played. He's from far away. He's from Rod Laver comes from Australia.
Okay.
Yes.
John Newcomb.
Yes, John Newcomb.
Good.
I said it before.
Yeah. Well, what? What do you mean?
I said
that before.
John Newcomb. When I said Laver, I said I thought Newcomb won it, but that
sorry,
was
I didn't
not
hear
sure.
that. See, I'm starting to get
worry.
old. I'm starting to get older, and I can't hear anything anymore. All right.
So we said it, all of them.
Yeah, you did. Unbelievable, guys. I mean, if I would, I'm going to give you a trophy here. Trophy for you.
It's a quiet.
Yeah.
Nice. I can find a candle here. Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, we have to talk a little bit about Wimbledon. How is that transition going from clay to grass? We know you love your golf, but how is the tennis going?
It's been going okay, I would say. Since Paris, I went home for a little bit, and then I went to play Queens, and then I lost early. I lost the first round in Queens, so I decided that
you need to go on a holiday.
Yeah, I wanted to go for some holidays because clay season is obviously very busy for me, playing a lot of matches, and I was quite exhausted after Paris, and I didn't really have time to relax too much because I had a lot of stuff to do in Norway. So after Queens was pretty much the only time I had to enjoy some relaxing days, just thinking about something else. So I went for some holidays to Italy and enjoyed a lot. Came back yesterday and first hit again on grass today. So it's not been the preparation that maybe other players have, but I think that I'm coming into Wimbledon with my, shoulders down. I'm going to try, of course, to play well, and I'm going there tomorrow. I can't wait to come back because the facility and the place is just, unbelievable sceneries, and brings back, kind of this majestic feeling, I guess, or brings a majestic feeling to all the players, and the history and the tradition is unbelievable. So it's I look forward to it. I'm going to try to play my best. I haven't been able to win first round ever there, so, and neither did my father. So I think it's time to try to change that.
Come on, you gotta win for your family.
Yes, so we have been joking a little bit, in the family that we just can't win in Wimbledon. So I was able to win some matches in doubles last year.
Well, there
and actually reached the second week of the tournament in doubles. So I was thinking, one day it would be cool to reach the second week in singles. So if it happens this year, I'm not sure. I'm gonna try, but at least I'm up for the challenge. So I'm gonna get some good days of practice now, and hopefully be ready for next week.
So you said you went to Capri on a holiday. If there would be points you play for in Wimbledon, do you think you would have done the same thing, or does it change your approach this year to play the tournament at all, or not really?
I would probably go anyways because it's pretty much the only time I can get a week or 5-6 days in of some holidays because the year is so busy anyways. And for me, it means a lot to play, the ATP event in Båstad the week after Wimbledon. It's very close to my home. It's in Sweden. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive from where I live in Oslo. So that even though Wimbledon is a bigger tournament, Båstad is always going to be like a tournament that I wish to play. And then I can't take the holidays after Wimbledon as other players maybe do. And then I also enjoyed Gstaad last year, so I'm going to go back there, and Kitzbühel as well. So I have some points to defend, to say the least. So I'm going to have to play those 3 again this year and try to finish the clay season for this year in a good way. So it's going to be exciting, and I look forward to the next month, first with Wimbledon and then the couple of more tournaments in Europe.
Alex, how do you think Casper can go on the grass court? He said it. He hasn't been too successful in singles before. You loved your grass as well. He never got the seat you were supposed to get there. It's been the drama for so many years. But how do you rate Casper on grass? And I'm not talking about golf again, because he's amazing in golf.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I was very impressed by his clay court season, because he did play all the tournaments. And I remember when we had this Ruud Talk before Geneva, he was in his hotel room and he ended up winning the tournament. And then he went straight to Roland Garros and he reached the finals. So in a way, if you guys allowed me, I felt a little bit like similar than Casper, that I was playing the clay court season. And then I reached finals in Roland Garros. And then I went straight to Halle and I lost 6-1, 6-0, because it was almost impossible for me to get ready, you know. So it happened to me like a couple of times, finals, and then I had the commitment with Halle. I went straight, so I couldn't make games. On those days, we only had 2 weeks in between. So I think now at least they have these 3 weeks. So I would say for him, it is normal also that they start Kitzbühel, the clay court summer. It's also very important, which it was very important for me as well. So I feel like if he allows me to say, I think he did unbelievable already. And whatever he needs to do on grass and Wimbledon, in my opinion, at least this year, is try to learn how he can improve things and say like, okay, where am I going to return? I'm going to return here. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Where am I going to serve? I'm going to come maybe after the return and put some pressure. Just learn things. And if I would be him now, I would write down things like, okay, I want to learn this for tomorrow's practice. Then
you're talking about Casper in the third person. Casper is right here.
No, because I don't want to, you know, but
it
because
makes sense what you said.
I think for him, I mean, Wimbledon is Wimbledon, but I'm not so sure he had the time to be ready for this tournament, you know. So I think for him, it should be more like, okay, this is like experience. And then the summertime is going to be even more important. I'm not saying that Wimbledon is not important for Casper, because it's super important. But I feel like he should be happy already from what he did, because his effort during the clay court season, it was unbelievable. So if I would be him, you know, I think he can do well. But of course, there are many more players that can hurt his game on grass than on clay. And it will depend also on the draw, which on clay, he pretty much feels like it depends on me. Grass, I think he will look like 15 or 20 guys that he feels like those guys are very difficult to play on grass. So that's my recommendation in a good way for Casper, to say, listen, the season has been unbelievable so far. It's going to continue being like that. Let's go to Wimbledon. And I rate his chances. Well, I think for him, it should go day by day and point by point, because Wimbledon, one set you play well, and the next set you don't understand anything. You don't know, you know, it's like breakpoint, or you have breakpoint against you and you don't even know, where do I serve? Normally I have this serve kick out wide natural, and now on grass it should be a slice, or it's not a slice. Second serve you need to kick, and you know, this is how I feel. But so
okay,
I feel like whatever he does, he's going to be unbelievable.
Okay, full stop now. Is that a full stop?
Yeah. Yes, please. Sorry. I wanted to cheer him up.
That's it. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Wimbledon soon.
Thank you, guys. See you in a couple days.
Good luck.
Yes, sounds great. All the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.